All right, let's bring in our political editor, Andrew Clennell. For all topics politics this morning, there is one that seems to be getting stronger, and it has for a few days now. First of all, the Labor Party smelt blood over shares from way back. Now it's the property portfolio. It wants Peter Dutton to answer questions on this. What do you think about it?
Well, I think they haven't quite got there with these stories, have they? They say, oh, he's got questions to answer. That's because they couldn't dig up enough dirt to answer it themselves. But I also think we've seen this before, and it's more a practice in tight elections. When elections are very tight, when you're in trouble as a government, you really do play the man. And Scott Morrison did that with Bill Shorten. There was a lot of digging around at that time around an unproven, and police said it was unproven and no evidence to support it, rape allegation against Bill Shorten. So there was that example. Gladys Berejiklian, when it was about 50-50 in New South Wales in 2019, her people went hard after Michael Daly and his record on the council out there. And so the tighter it is, the more you're going to see this sort of thing. Does it resonate? No, I don't think it will make a difference. We'll hear from Peter Dutton this morning. Obviously, his response is important. But as we discussed off camera, I think what it can do is it can take a little bit of heat off the Copacabana purchase of Albanese.
Right, so I mean, and
that would be another intention of it.
So you think it could be some political payback on that? Not
even payback, just diffusing, people saying, oh, what about how he bought himself a $4 million house? Oh, the other guy's rich as well. I mean, he wouldn't be the first wealthy politician, of course. Malcolm Turnbull.
Rudd.
Kevin Rudd's wife, Therese Rain, made a lot of money with employment services. You didn't see any, dirt being thrown around then. So I actually, but one of the things I do wonder, is there more to come? Have they got something else? They're firing these shots very early. And let's not pretend this is coming from, some Woodward and Bernstein sitting around out there. They're probably, no offence to the journos, they're probably doing some work on this, but they're having files handed to them. So, the fact they're firing these shots early, the Medicare thing they would have expected to get more lift on. Dutton matched it.
Yeah.
It was sort of that attack was killed within hours.
Yeah.
The rate cut, they got no bounce. This is a government which looks like it's on the downward slide. This is looking like, at the moment, and a lot can change in a campaign. It can move 2 points either way easily. But it is looking at the moment like Dutton minority is a red-hot chance. So
that's why they're playing the man, not the ball.
Well, they're even more than playing the man, because they are playing the ball too. It's just Peter Dutton tackled them with the Medicare thing.
Yeah. Do you think that was a spur-of-the-moment thing, or were they actually working up towards that?
Peter Dutton?
On Medicare, yeah.
I'd heard that they'd got wind of...
Right.
People, they got wind the government might do something good on bulk billing, so they must have strategised, because Angus Taylor was here on Sunday Agenda at 8 a.m, straight away, bang, we're matching it.
Right.
And I suspect if Dutton does tax cuts, by the way, Anthony Albanese will do the same. It kind of illustrates the closeness of the contest once again. Neither side feels like they can give each other an inch because it could lose them the election.
Yeah.
Simple as that.
Do you think, just on the property, people are allowed to buy and sell property, they're allowed to buy and sell shares. The allegation from Murray Watt this morning wasn't so much about that. It was more about lazy housekeeping, I suppose, if you want to put it that way, about declarations. Is there anything there?
I think it's important that the declaration system is on it. What disturbs me about the declaration system, and of course in New South Wales, the Premier famously went for not declaring a bottle of expensive bottle of wine, which he would have had to pay some for. I guess that's a bit different under the rules. But Bridget McKenzie and all these undeclared flights, no sort of penalty for that. What's the point? The system is really important, and yet there's no penalty, it seems, whenever anyone breaches it. So I think that's kind of important, but a lot of this stuff is so historic. It's dropped out 5 weeks before an election. I think Australians have a right to say, give us a break, If you're really serious about it, you would have come out with it 3 years ago.
So Susan Lee, she mentioned in my chat a short time ago, the government's ready in 4 days to call an election. You've said for a while now it could be April 5, which would fall in line. Are you still there? Or?
I don't think so, because as I reported yesterday, they've called Cabinet for Monday, and on Monday they scheduled that. Normally it's scheduled weeks in advance. So the plan is obviously to go a little bit further. Past WA, I suspect. April 12's firming then.
Back to 12, okay.
But May's still a possibility, because I think what they'll do is they'll just keep looking at the polls. Obviously, with this Medicare thing and now this Dutton attack, they're trying to rake a point back, I'd say, Labor. If they don't do that, does he hang on and hope something else emerges? It's a very difficult situation when you've fallen slightly behind.
Yeah.
It means you've got to have a hell of a campaign.
Sure. We're all here for it. Look forward to it too, Andrew. Thank you.